So, right before I got this dinner today, I went on a jog for the first time in a while. This jog was intended to be 20 minutes long. It was, and in that time I ran 2.5 kilometers, mostly around the Harrison building. It was intended that I would run all around campus, but then I kind of tripped because I'm guessing the area behind Harrison I guess the pavement there was a little uneven. And I tripped and landed on my hands and this knee. Within, I think, about 2 to 3 minutes, I went into the Harrison bathroom and applied soap and hot water to the areas that were made sore by the trip. And I damaged my Magnum screen protector to the point where I'm going to need to apply a new one. Thank goodness my mom did that for me in advance. My dad gave me an idea for this piece of styrofoam. I think he told me the fictional supervillain Doomsday. These Bolivian pencil sticks are pretty good. I got milk for dinner, but I spilled it in the doorway between the outside and the lobby of Eagle Hall. And when I got my lunch, and since it was the weekend, lunch was more like a sort of brunch sort of thing, in which I got 3 pancakes, some ham, and gravy and biscuits. Though with the gravy, the biscuits were pretty salty. I got 3 of them, so the biscuits and gravy made up a large portion of my lunch. I think the 3 pancakes, I have 2 packets of what is maple syrup, but I think it said table syrup. Then again, maybe I'm misreading it because it was in cursive. Upgrading this again will require more space and some population, it seems. I'm trying to complete these quests as quickly as I can. There's still some time before the next daily exclusive. I'm about 18 minutes late for the new day on Iron Rage. For breakfast, which was from 10 to 11 in the morning, my dad took me to Two Brothers family restaurant in Brockport. This was after taking me to vote around, I think it was from 9 to 9:45, between getting there to a place in Greece known as the Church of Christ, though it didn't look like what I would expect from a church. I would say it's a new school church. To pass the time, I struck up a conversation with the person behind me. Her name was Tracy, and she told me that, from what I can remember, she's both the person who books appointments and greets you when you go to your appointments at the U of R. When she told me she doesn't like her job, that she went to college but didn't complete it. I told her I'm a senior, first semester at the College of Brockport. That I have a YouTube channel, that I make animations using Vyond, though I didn't explicitly say Dan Hamming during that part. That in the winter, I took part in a study abroad trip to Italy and Greece. I make drawings on pieces of styrofoam, though I didn't show those pieces. I told her I'm currently learning Intermediate Spanish 1. I'm taking that class. I told her that I have a 3.6 GPA, and I told her about my intentions of going to law school, specifically the Buffalo School of Law. When I first started talking to her, she was playing a game called, I think it was Puzzle, or Puzzle. It's some kind of game where you get a grid, square. There's this sort of box, and it contains a bunch of blocked letters. I think it's typically a sort of a 4x4 thing. I think you're supposed to make as many words with all the letters as you can in a limited amount of time. After voting, I also talked with my dad in the car. I told him about the conversation I had. He told me his intentions to buy a house, specifically a ranch, within, I think, the next year. At Two Brothers, I had my usual of an Eggs Benedict. I had plain coffee. I think if I recall during the whole time, I had about 3 cups of plain coffee because I like having it. My dad gave me I think it's called a Columbia jacket. Either way, I think it looks pretty nice. The problem I solved today was that I found a car swerve sound effect for the Dan Hemming I'm working on. Now I just need to figure out how I'm gonna choreograph a sort of accident scene where the bowl of mustard goes flying. I have to figure out what I'm going to do for that. I spent some time to try and catch up on my Spanish grammar journals. This game isn't very dynamic, and that your base doesn't really change that much once you get to the high levels, as I have. I'm currently working on a VHL Central assignment in which I'm working on the vocab for chapter 12 or lesson 12. This lesson features vocab on basically the different rooms you would find in a house and the furniture you would expect to find within those rooms. Horno, meaning oven. La mesa, meaning end table. And so forth. Doing pretty good. I'm glad I got a run in today. I'm glad I got to vote today. Oh yeah, and Tracy also likes to bake. She showed me pictures of a cake she baked for her son's graduation party, as well as some cookies she baked. And I expressed interest in trying a batch of cookies if she ever finds the time to make a batch of cookies. I also told her my dad would be interested and that he's a mailman. I also said that I was on the track team during my senior year at high school. And about this sort of fundraiser, door-to-door sale I took part in where I basically sold candy to raise funds for the track team. And I told her about how I still have boxes of candy that I'm afraid are unfulfilled orders because I think I have the order form and those boxes of candy somewhere in my room. That's what I'm currently thinking. They had apple cider at lunch, and I spilled that, I think, near the elevators at the Eagle Hall lobby. So I spilled a beverage twice today at Eagle Hall. First some apple cider, then some milk at dinner. And the apple cider accident happened around lunchtime at 1:30 p.m. I was able to increase my squad size again today. Pretty close to making it to chapter 4. Excuse me. Before Dad took me out to vote, I worked on making a styrofoam drawing of the thing for him. I think I got about a third of the way done by the time he took me out to vote. What I'm wanting to do currently, perhaps maybe finish the current VHL Central assignment that I need to work on. Perhaps while reading the Federalist and Anti-Federalist papers in order to study for this American political thought essay. While I was waiting in line to vote, my dad went to Wegmans and got me what he thought were extra cheesy Cheez-Its, but are really a box of original. But that's perfectly fine. He also got me some of this water and some granola bars. And he also packed me that bag of Lay's chips that I partially finished the day before he took me out to vote. My phone screen is doing fine, but I'm going to need to replace the Magnum screen protector. I also put on these shoes and found some black, I think, dress socks for my run today, right before dinner. And right before I got my dinner at Harrison, I got some more Game Fuel Mountain Dew energy drinks. That's pretty much the only thing they have at the Nest at the moment. I may get some energy drinks at the Square after my American Political Thought class tomorrow. Maybe. It is important to get some relatively healthy energy drinks. Oh, and my dad didn't give me the granola bars right next to the bag of Lay's chips today. I believe that was last week. Oh, and this is actually part of my work on the Dan Hamming I'm currently working on. I also had some yogurt with lunch and used up the last of the chia seeds I had at the time. I still don't have any supply of chia seeds. I don't think there was any way I was going to be able to fit a yogurt and chia seeds into this container after everything I ultimately got.